Hello and welcome to PSGL. This is round 6 here for Brazil. Not one of my best tracks, truth be told. Wasn't really feeling the most confident coming into this weekend. It's just not really a track where I've ever been able to find a flow and get into the rhythm and find some time. But you can see my first lap in qualifying there was actually good enough to put me P6, but I imagine some of the faster drivers behind me, they've maybe not just got the best banker lap in, but you can see now on my second lap, Sector 1 is completed, purple Sector 1, and you can see we're kind of just maintaining our previous lap's delta. It wasn't the best lap, as I said, quite a lot of mistakes riddled within it, but you can see here, coming through Sector 2, that corner almost flat out, and then braking down to second gear here, trying to use the most road on exit, and then trying to stay close to the inside as possible through here. And now coming into this right-hander, very difficult, because you're kind of braking while steering coming into the corner. It's quite difficult to get it right, and you can see miss the apex, lose the back end. It's just not a good corner. Now coming through the final corner here, that's probably the only corner that I've actually aced on this lap. That was pretty close to as good as you ever want to get it. So opening the DRS, we've got enough battery luckily coming over the line. We haven't been too greedy with the deployment throughout the lap, and you can see we are P7 as we now go on to our last lap. Coming into turn number 1, and I've missed my braking point. I've gone wide, down by about a tenth and a half, so I backed out of it here and thought I'll just go for another cool down lap. Tyres haven't taken too much out of them because it was only the first corner, and so here we are. I'll go again now for my final lap in Q3 here. At the pace, I'm feeling good. If I can just get this lap together, then I think we're on for a good result. Turn 1, brilliant. That was a good turn 1 and turn 2 there. Coming around through turn 3, we're just under half a tenth up as we now come to the end of Sector 1. What is the split going to be? It's a 17-2, so it's a decent split here as we're now coming through Sector 2 here. That left-hander was brilliant, carried a much higher minimum speed through it and gained some time. Now thrown into this corner here, stick to the inside, use all the track on exit as we can. Now coming into this right-hander, just trail brake it in there, just slowly merge the car into the corner now, sticking to the inside here on that left-hander. Now coming into this right-hander again, I've lost so much time there, about over a tenth at least I would say. Just I've missed the apex, I'm offline, and it's just not good. But coming into this final corner, I aced it last time around. Looks like I've done it similar this time around. It's still a purple Sector 2, and my Sector 3 was right on par with the guys at the front. So if this is the lap of all laps, then maybe could be my first pole position in PSGL. We come over the line, and it's not enough for pole position, unfortunately. I almost did believe for a sec maybe I might be able to do it, but you can see 1/10, and that was that mistake in the middle sector, unfortunately, that gave me that gap. So it is P6. We were in the fight for pole position for the first time ever, but it wasn't meant to be. A familiar sight, the top 2 in the championship locking out the front row of the grid. So let's go to the race and see what we can do. Wet weather. If there's one thing I didn't want, it was wet weather, because I do not know how to set up my car for the wet. But we're going to have to see what we can do. 5 red lights for Brazil, and we leave the grid, and it's a fairly average start here. Coming into turn number 1, what am I going to do? I'm kind of boxed in here. Just going to try and stick to the inside of the apex, maybe try and go around the outside of a few cars going into turn number 2, but it's always a bit of a risk there as I'm shoved off the track there by the Haas. He was ahead at the apex, and again, it's just you always run that risk if you try and go for the outside line at the start of a race. But my teammate's also in front of me, and I go down the inside here. Most of the time when I've been with my teammate, I've been letting him through because he's been in a different race to me. But for the first time, I've actually managed to out-qualify him, and I'm ahead of him, but looks like it's not for long. I'm going to go down the inside, but rookie mistake there as I'm just switchbacked, and yeah, that was a good bit of racing there. It was nice to be ahead of my teammate for about a sector and a bit, but yeah, it looks like struggling on this opening lap with the grip. Maybe I just need to get used to the wet weather. But you can see there the Williams car making a bit of a mess of that right-hander. Now it's all the 3 cars there fighting going into the final sector here. My teammate goes down the inside of the Haas car. The Williams really snaky there. His back end all over the place, and it's quite a it's very difficult conditions, obviously, in the intermediates. Yeah, it's definitely not fun to drive in, and it's going to be a very long race. You can see my teammate there defending the Haas. They're almost wheel banging down the straight there as they're going side by side through turn number 1. And I think my teammate there just lost the back end a little bit, went into him. Somehow, I don't think either of them have any damage, but I'm going to try and take advantage of it here. But again, I just get a little bit boxed in, not enough space. If this was the 2026 cars, maybe we could have had a bit more space to run 3 wide, but you can see going down the inside, and I've gone off the track there. I think I got a little bit spooked out by that guy going down the inside of me. I outbraked myself, and that actually saved me because he ended up crashing into my teammate there, the guy trying to overtake me. But you can see now on the next lap, once again, just outbraking myself. I haven't really got the feeling with the brake pedal clearly in this race, and my teammate, I'm not going to put up a fight that time around. I thought maybe I could pick up the pace a little bit given the first lap was up, but it really does look like that. Whenever it's pretty heavy rain conditions, I just do not seem to have the pace, and you can see now my teammate's progress has kind of been a bit stunted because he's stuck behind the Haas car, who's a bit tail happy. I've seen it a few times. Yeah, just he's not the most confident right now in these conditions, so it looks like my teammate's being a little bit held up. I mean, I'm still not as fast as either of them, so I'm just kind of hanging back here and just watching this battle unfold. As you can see, I think he's gone a little bit wide there, the Haas, and my teammate there, a bit of a glitch in the game. There's constantly exploding debris on the exit of that corner, but my teammate has got him, and he's now up into P5, and so now it's my turn to try and get past the Haas car. But I was running higher downforce than a lot of these guys, so my straight line speed wasn't the best. You can see here, coming into this corner, I have a run, but I didn't really do anything with it. Just not confident on the brakes, clearly. And that's very something you really don't want when you're trying to overtake someone, because you need to be confident on the brakes to get past someone. It doesn't matter if you're faster than them. If you're not confident on the brakes, you're never going to get past them. So you can see now, I've got a bit of a run here. Coming into this corner, I need to get a bit more aggressive, so I'm going to try and just hang it down the inside. It turns to the outside and then switch back on the exit of turn 2, coming through turn 3. It's just not enough, unfortunately, and you can see once again I'm going to have to stay behind him, but it looks like the racing ball is going to take advantage of my bad run as a result of battling, and he has gone around the outside of me. And at this point I'm very frustrated, because it's one thing to become, when you go from the hunter to the hunted, it's very frustrating, but you can see nothing I can do. I have absolutely no grip, and now I'm even under threat from the Red Bull behind me. But yeah, when you have no grip in these conditions, no confidence, there's not much you can really do about it. You just kind of have to painfully watch as everyone just kind of drives away from you. But you can see there a lot of contact being made in this race, and once again my run has been compromised from it, and now the Red Bull's got me. So yeah, I've gone battling to try and get P6, and now it looks like I'm going to drop to P9 because I'm boxed in again. So yeah, nothing I can do, which is just, it was really frustrating. But you can see I don't want to lose this position, so on exit here I've got a bit of battery. I had the inside line, so I've gone around the outside into this corner. Again, I've gone too deep. It just keeps happening, and yeah, trying to basically dance around the outside on the karting line, and looks like the momentum I was able to carry, I've just managed to hold on to the track position there. So yeah, almost halfway through this race now, and you can see I'm finally got a run on this Haas car coming into turn number 1, and boom, just before halfway distance I've finally got that Haas car, and I'm up into P7, but damage is kind of done. My teammate's now in the pits. Quite surprising, because my tyre wear was only 50% on my rear right there. So yeah, I was thinking, we've just gone past halfway distance, I have half tyre wear. I was thinking, do I stay out and try and do a no-stop race? Because it was saying that at the end of the race there'd be a dry spell, so if I could switch on to dries, then I get away with a free pit stop, and I'm effectively P4 right now because everyone else is pit. However, the only issue with that is, if you look back to the first race of the season in Spain, it was a similar situation. The track dried up, but it was never good enough for dry tyres, and everyone who pit onto dries lost so much time. Championship leaders just come in as well, I'm guessing to try and get an offset to come back on fresher tyres. I come in the following lap, and so now We have about, what is this, 12 laps to go in this race, and I'm in P9, and if I want those positions ahead, I'm going to have to push and go get them. So from this point, it was basically just pushing us flat out to the end of the race. As the track dried, my pace got better, which tells me that maybe my setup was better for dry running, which would make sense because I didn't really change it that much from qualifying, and obviously it was a dry setup. So yeah, so track dries out, you can see my pace it's pretty good, and I'm pretty much carving that gap right now. I'm pretty much behind the Red Bull now for P7. So yeah, looks like just gonna have to find the right time really to get through. But I'm setting purple sectors. I'm one of the fastest on the track right now, so I think me and the championship leader are the fastest drivers on the track. So I have a lot of potential here, a lot of pace, and we've got about, well, we're just about to cross over 5 laps to go. My teammate is off there. I believe he got damage or something. I think he had an incident that got damage and it basically destroyed his race. So yeah, he unfortunately retired, which yeah, is a shame because it's just well, points for him that he's lost and also points for the constructors. But you can see here, I need to get more aggressive. I'm going to go round the outside of this Red Bull, and looks like it's going to turn to the inside, and I give him a little bit of a squeeze on exit there. He didn't back out though, so then I had to quickly turn away and give him a bit more space, otherwise we would have dragged each other off the circuit. But that is that position done, and now I need to go after the Williams ahead, who I think is struggling a little bit with his tyres perhaps. Either that, it's probably just because I have quite a big offset in tyres, but you can see just slowly closing in that gap here. I really was pushing because I had full belief that I could get P5 here, and it'd be my first top 5 result in PSGL. That would be absolutely brilliant for me. But you can see here on the penultimate lap, I'm finally on the back of him. He's gone a little bit wide there. I've got a bit more battery, a bit of battery saved from the braking. I'm going to try and maybe go around the outside, and I run into the back of him there just because the tyre offsets so much that my braking distance is much shorter than his, so naturally that's going to happen. But yeah, I've got to just be a bit more wary of that. But it's the first time I've been able to get in close combat with him, so yeah, you just got to kind of learn where your rival's strong and where they're not, and then try and pick your move. But I was fully confident here that with much more pace, I could definitely do this. I could get this position, but we've only got one more lap, so you know, kind of cutting it a little bit fine, and yeah, running out of time here. But you know, we've still got one more lap to go of this track, and I've just got to try everything I possibly can. You can see here, maybe shouldn't have used my battery there because yeah, I'm not really going to get close to an overtake. However, you know, I need to stay close. Coming through turn number 1 here, turns through to the second corner, and I'm right on the back of him. But again, the straight line speed is pretty poor. I've deployed the battery quite early there because I just wanted to get as close as I possibly could, but unfortunately I ended up draining it too early, and he survived that attack. So that was my first opportunity really into that corner. I've lost the back end a little bit through that left-hander. Fucking annoying as hell when you're behind another car and you start to lose the back end. I've not had a back end loss through that corner at all throughout this race, but you can see, you know, I'm running out of time. I'm kind of running out of time here. You know, we've only got half the lap to go, and I've still not even had really a sniff of an overtaking opportunity. I was thinking to dive bomb into this corner, but I'm too far back and I don't want to risk a penalty. It's not worth it that much because I've still got P6. It's decent points as Suzuki wins the race there. And you can see I've lost the back end through that left-hander. Unbelievable. And that is pretty much the writing on the wall. I've got battery saved up, but I'm willing to bet he has as well. And annoyingly, I could not believe it that I've just missed out on P5 there. Yeah, coming up to the line, I was quite disappointed at the time to get P6 after all that. I held position from my starting position, so yeah, very close to P4 as well, but wasn't meant to be. Pace was bad in the wet, but it was very good in the dry. That was kind of the story of that race. Yeah, just need to ban wet weather then, don't we? But anyway, I'll see you later.